today checking out some new public land, place I've never been. Kind of dipping into some new units in Kansas. But trying to load up my offline maps. The wind's gonna be horrendous. I'm gonna apologize now. We got some pretty good gusts coming in. But we're gonna see what we can piece together and hopefully show you something beneficial here. Bring it back when we find something cool. Man, that freaking wind is something else, let me tell you. I just covered a good bit of land up there, and I really wanted to pull up and get some video of it, but I didn't want to blow people's eardrums out with that wind whistling through the mic. The cedar oak's protecting me, but we got here what looks like to be plenty of wheat this year. It looks like it might have been corn. It's hard to say what it was last year. We had another cornfield up the hill back there that was tons of trails going to it. We're kind of getting a glance over the land right now. I'm going to come back through all that brush and woods here in a little bit. See if I can find any good deer sign in it. I am in mule deer country here, so there is a possibility of locating some of that. But there's a lot of open land around, and they're probably more on that than this here timber around this river and lake. Plenty of options to hunt it, lots of trees, lots of structure to hold whitetails here. Beautiful land. Just see if we find any sign. See if I can find any sign where it looks like there's a lot of hunter pressure on it or not. Don't know. I finally got off fields and some thick stuff here and walked through several beds back there, and this time of year a lot of the deer are shedding, and I'm finding several big clumps of hair. These guys are freaking bedding up and losing that stuff. I'm not really seeing any just insane buck sign in here, but the sheer deer numbers are in here. A couple of real heavy trails coming in and out. Lots of beds. Once again, not really catching too much heavy buck sign yet, but we're in a bedding area. I'm sure as soon as I pop out up here, I'll start finding that. I actually think I just spotted my first pretty good bush rub. Excuse me while I crunch through this mess. Not bad. It's a good one. Old balloon, I guess that's supposed to mean something. Everyone likes to relate the thermal pools and balloons to bedding areas. I guess that tells you a little something there. Man, I like what this came out into. Back over my right shoulder here, we got a big cornfield. We got another one over here off the left side, real thick cedar grove in the middle, blocks a lot of the wind and opens up in this hardwood bottom. Amazingly, I haven't seen any hunter sign yet. We'll see if that holds true. Normally I don't show a lot of the people's stuff in my videos, but I'll probably highlight it if I find stands or cameras in this one. Alright, move on. That cornfield I mentioned a second ago. Man, that's what I'm doing. Heck of a cornfield here. Freaking corn stalks and leaves giving me false alarms on antler spottings. Hopefully any luck I'll find an antler or two, but I ain't crossing my fingers. It's pretty late in the antler season here in Kansas, and a lot of them have been found. Didn't anticipate finding this. Got a pretty good little lake here, and now that I zoom in on it, a pond, this covered with some freaking goose and ducks, and it's all on public. Got a ground scape here, but we're about to flush some birds off of the water. Got a pretty good variety out there too. Greenheads, mallards, a couple of Canadians. I mean, they're all over this thing. I bet this thing got some fish in it too. Alright. I think I decided to do a little experimental duck hunting this year. I might be coming here. Got a small land bridge here between a couple ponds, or a pond and a lake. And then on the other side is a couple ground scrapes. Got a beat down trail coming through the middle of this. A lot of beaver traffic over this also, but there is a pile of deer tracking this. It goes into what appears to be on imagery a thick cedar grove over here. So I'm kind of curious to see what that translates to once I get foot on ground in there. We shall see. A couple crossings here actually that really shows the amount of deer that's coming through here. And that just beat up real good. And that's not even really the heavy one. Got another one here. Going up and down that bank. And a few more down through here closer to the beaver dam. Alright, let's get up there and see what's in there. Popped up that levee and man, it's pretty in here. A lot of good trees. Still not seeing much hunter sign, but heck, at this point I'm probably close to a mile back. Not a lot of people like to play with that kind of distance here. Stays pretty thick in here. I'd say whether you're from the ground or in a tree, you're going to struggle to get much past a 30-yard shot. Little bush rub, couple bush rubs actually. That's a pretty good one on that cedar. Another pretty good one on that cedar. Still ain't finding a crazy number of bush rubs, but at the same time, I haven't really been in the spot where they pop up a lot. Looks like there could be a bed back up in there. But, alright. So I just entered another giant field, and back at the beginning of the field I found what looked like some blind material on the ground, just a little small chunk, which I guess you say my first sign of another hunter. And then I came across this, and this guy straight up took a page out of my book. I like to dig back in these cedars like that, set up, and you pretty much get hid from the world doing that. It's hard to say what he was hunting with, bow or rifle, whatever, because you got a lot of field in front of him here. I would like to think in this setup, that's probably a rifle hunter, but definitely someone carved their way in there, whether this year or year before, or there's a repeat offender. But don't look like any of the saw marks are very fresh. I'm pretty old. There's one semi-fresh one, so he probably comes back and hunts this on a regular. Probably a local boy. He ain't gonna see this video and get mad. He got his spot up on YouTube. Pretty good though. I've covered a good bit of land. I only found sign of a hunter one time now. I walked around the ponds pretty good bit looking for duck blinds and duck shotgun shells and stuff like that, and didn't see too much on that. I think this was far enough out away from anything that it didn't touch too much. Try my best to protect the camera from the wind, but man, we have found the buck sign now. Always sounds like I'm in a hurricane or monsoon. They've got everything through here tore up. Got a transition of hardwoods, got some private property on each side here, public, and then it builds up to some WIA, which is also public. So it's dropped down out of the cornfield, finally got out of the wind. Old ground scrape here all tracked up. But dropped down to this draw. It's a really thick cedar draw here that has tons of freaking sign in here. Looks like mostly cedar and locust. Very impressive, this little spot. Lots of bush shrubs and freaking ground scrapes down through here. I need to circle around and start making it back to the car before long. But man, it's hard to turn around when I'm seeing land like this. I'm sure someone's already shed hunted this year, but it's the kind of place I really expect to find an antler. They just tore up a bunch of these bushes. I mean, ripped that thing apart. A bunch in here ripped apart. There's gotta be an antler laying around in here somewhere. Heavy crossings everywhere. And this kind of spot that you need to be able to slip in and hunt on a regular basis without disturbing. I don't know how that would look from a higher point of view, but that's a bad sign though. That's a sawed off locust. Someone came in here and sawed something off. It's laying right there. I don't see any sign of hunter yet, but they definitely sawed it down. I mean, they could have hung in one of these trees and trying to open up a shooting lane. I don't see where or how. Maybe a walking path, but it definitely looks good down here. Corn leaves getting me. I thought I found the antler again. I guess we need to look at popping back up on the field over here and making our way back towards the car some. Alright. Man, I wish I could find a couple sheds up in here. Big ground scrape, we just walked over again. Coming down this draw, I've done pushed a couple deer out of it. Just insane amount of deer sign, old and new. I mean, I found some freaking 6 to 8 inch thick cedars back there that been rubbed up for probably freaking 10 years now. Year after year of rubs on them. Ground scrapes everywhere. Every little creek crossing is just scattered in tracks, and we just got this beat up. Extremely impressed with this location. I will be coming back. I don't know if I can get on video, but I just came chomping in and out of the field here and got wind coverage saving me, and got a couple deer down here. Well, they ain't paying no attention. Oh, might have caught me then. Let the wind pick back up and we'll move in on them a little more. It's really crunchy, as you can hear in the video, but, and honestly, I'm not talking super quiet, but wind coverage does a lot. Some big old healthy does, it looks like. Uh-oh, I'm busted. One of them, at least. She's on to me. Oh, there goes another one. Oh, 4 of them. Was making a valid effort to kill a deer. That would have been dead deer right there. Old GoPro don't translate distance very well, but they're probably about 40-50 yards. And if I was really wanting to play any caution, I would definitely got a lot closer than that to them. Some of my favorite places to hunt here are these wetland bottoms like this. And it's really good producing daytime movement, as we just seen. And this here would actually, we're pretty dry levels right now. Lakes are low and stuff. I don't know what this lake's normally at back here, but I could access this in my canoe. Allow me a super quiet, easy slip in here. And recovery. All right. Got another carved up cedar here. Actually seen 2 or 3 of these down through here. They even brought zip ties in here to hang in limbs, give them a little more cover. Definitely fresh from this year. But true to most Kansas hunters, they are hunting field edges. And I will always tell you, you will see deer on field edges, but if you want the big ones, get away from the field edges. So now we're down near the water's edge. We're on a lot of tall grasses out here. And granted, this time of year, all this is kind of beat down and flat. But during season, a lot of this grass is really tall. 5-6 foot tall, 7 foot tall in some places. I mean, it's above your head. It's probably about to get loud crunching through here. So it gives them a lot of security. On top of that, when you hear me crunching through this crap, you ain't sneaking up on them. And I've found that the really big mature bucks really likes to hold in these kind of areas. This one's actually really nice setup because you got water access. You got some places you can get elevated, whether you're doing it from the ground, because everything on both banks here is freaking got 20-foot banks or cliffs or whatever. Or you can get up in a tree and try to see across this. Be a little bit more difficult to see them in season, but you can pick them out here. Now I'm sure this water ain't very deep. It's going to take a shallow running boat to get in here. Surface drive motor, or in my case a canoe. With an actual surface drive or some kind of gas motor, I would be hesitant to the amount of noise it puts off, where paddling or electronic motor, trolling motor, you can sneak right up on them. Bird died there. Paw feathers. Bobcat or coyote or something got on the meal. But in this little oxbow we're coming into here at the backside of it, you got a pretty good pocket. And those usually are real good. Get in and around them bad boys, find out where they're moving. Find a lot of daytime animals in these. A lot of mature daytime animals. You cover a lot of land there, and I'm only covering maybe 1/10 of this little area, and this is a small area. I mean, on the other side here, there's another portion equal to what I covered, and then there's still a good bit more to cover. Now we're gonna let y'all go for now and make some tracks. Back on the field edge, the wind's insane. You can see that ground scrape there. Lincoln lands above it is all tore up. We got what looks to be a very impressive bush rub down here. I don't know what it is, these bucks are wanting to rub these locust trees. I keep talking about this grass and how these deer like to come to it, and looks like someone shot and lost one out here this year. Not a giant, but he came to the grass and they didn't find him. Decent little dude. All right, let's move on. We're about back to the car. And then the last field or so. I'll wrap it up here. Hopefully you get something from this video. If not, well, thank you for watching at least.